we started.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jai Baba. Thank you, Baba.
Jai Mer Baba. Jai Mer Baba. Thank you, Baba.
Jai Baba. Nothing is real but God. Nothing matters but love for God. God is the only reality. All else that seems real is illusory. God and I are one. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Jai Baba to all of you. Thank you, beloved Baba, and Happy New Year to all of you. Let us all hope and pray that this year Baba helps us to love him more and more, to remember him more and more, and be resigned to his will completely. All right. We are reading this superb book called Intimate Conversations with the Awakener, and we are on page number 39. Page number 39. All right. Go ahead.
Attention and recognition. I was attending a concert, listening to a famous group of musicians and enjoying their singing. Though I had come a bit late to the program, I observed that many people I knew were present. However, when it was over, no one seemed to have taken notice of my arrival, not even my close friends. Perhaps they were overwhelmed by the presentation of such beautiful music. I had also been touched by the performance, but somewhere within me, I felt hurt, feeling that I had been neglected by my friends. I expected at least a little attention from someone.
Once again, a very common emotion that we want to be appreciated. We want that somebody takes notice of us, we want attention. And where there is expectation, there is always likely to be suffering, whatever in whatever form we want to say. Where there is absolutely no expectation, you are not expecting anything from anybody. Your job is just to do things the best you can and leave it to Baba. And have no applause, no attention, no recognition, no expectation whatsoever. If that is the state of our being, then by and large, we are not affected by other person's behavior towards us, both ways, positive or negative. So here, I'm not going to read the whole paragraph again. The last sentence, I expected at least a little attention from someone. The moment you expect something and you don't get it, we tend to become unhappy. And if we really want to be happy, then there are certain very basic, simple rules of life. And if we follow that, then by and large, nothing can make us unhappy.
That night, I slept well. However, when I awoke, the nightmare of feeling totally neglected at the gathering the previous evening was still hovering over me. While attending to the morning chores, I felt uneasy and was not in a good mood at all. I knew that I was harboring ill feelings from last night, but I could not let go of them. Naturally, I thought of you, but did not expect you to visit me. However, in your omniscience and unconditional intimacy, you walked straight into my room. Instead of looking radiant, you appeared worried and asked me with concern, "What's the matter? What's wrong with you?" "I feel a bit out of sorts," I admitted sheepishly. "Why? What happened?" Somewhat awkwardly, I explained. At a musical performance I attended last night, none of my friends acknowledged me. I felt neglected, hurt, and lonely. Some silent moments ticked away before you gently spoke. The main cause of this is that you feel yourself to be a person who, because of age, position, or talent, has some special rights over others. You want them to pay attention to you, but in fact, you have to be more careful, more watchful when others praise and respect you, because through such appreciation, your ego-centered life is strengthened. I see, I swallowed with difficulty.
All right. This I may read it again. All right. That night I slept well. However, when I awoke, the nightmare of feeling totally neglected at the gathering the previous evening was still hovering over me. Uh, like how you have a hangover, something like that, something did not go the way you wanted it should have gone, and we feel disturbed, we feel perturbed. And when we are internally disturbed and perturbed, then everything external, everything outside doesn't have any charm, because the internal is hurt and harmed. Here again, the important thing is you felt totally neglected. So here there is an element of ego, that we want somebody to look up to us, we want somebody to appreciate us, we want attention. All right. While attending to the morning chores, I felt uneasy and was not in a good mood at all. We had done this word mood very beautifully from Baba's other discourses, where Baba says the mood of the perceiver invests the perception with its own coloring. I think it's a superb sentence. The mood of the perceiver invests the perception with its own coloring. We always say the beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. So if you are in a good mood, then even though externally something wrong is happening, you can ride that surf, you can ride that wave, you can overcome that. But if you are not in a good mood, then howsoever externally things are happening beautifully well, we will not be able to appreciate it. Because the mood of the perceiver, which is I am the perceiver, invests the perception. How do I perceive things? How do I take in things? What is the story? What is the painting that I do, the coloring that I make out of what is happening out there will finally affect me. If I am in a jolly mood, happy mood, very light-hearted mood, then nothing disturbs me, even though something so-called gravely wrong is happening outside, we will take it in our own stride without being unduly affected by it. So here the word mood gave that thought, that while attending to the morning chores, I felt uneasy. Now you can see that in the present moment, that is that morning, nothing wrong is happening. The present moment is beautifully well. But we import something from the past, that was last night. We have imported, we have sucked in, we have brought that memory into the present moment, and we are spoiling the most beautiful present moment by mixing it up with the mood of my past. I hope I'm able to convey what I'm trying to convey. That means if one is so anchored in the present moment all the time, then again, by and large, you do not get affected by the whatever stress, tension, worries, etc. of the past, regrets, moods, whatever of the past, or anxieties about the future. Because by and large, the present moment of everybody is really beautiful. But we spoil it by mixing up the masalas of the past and the future. So here, the author says, while attending to the morning chores, I felt uneasy. There was nothing to feel uneasy about except the memory of the past, and was not in a good mood at all. I knew that I was harboring ill feelings from last night, but I could not let go of them. Now, in a way, to be able to let go is so much easy. All you need to do is let go. But that let go we do not do foolishly. Why? Because we are getting some kind of a payoff from not letting go. And what is that payoff? Poor me. See how they are treating me. I did so much for somebody and they're not even looking at me. They have not even acknowledged me, blah, blah, blah. So in other words, life as such is quite easy if we understand it in the right perspective, in Baba's perspective. So all you need to do is just let go. It's as good as just let go. Okay, what has happened is happened. You can't change whatever has happened. You cannot alter the past. All you can do is that you make your present beautiful by using the past, learning from the past, learning from the mistakes of the past, and use that as a springboard. I have this saying, we all do that. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Now, what is Humpty Dumpty? We all know it's an egg. So once the egg is broken and things are all around, you cannot put all those things back into the shell. So what do? You make an omelette. You make a scrambled egg out of it after removing the shells. So you are making good use. Soumya can make a cake, wonderful cake. So in other words, we make good use of the apparently bad that has happened. There's another beautiful one, which is again one of my favorites. Do not cry over spilled milk, we say it. And then I add a second sentence, keep Amul milk powder ready. So I'm not advertising for any company, but the whole idea of this is that do not harbor about what has happened in the past. Do not be in that victim mode or mood and just come out of it and say, okay, that has happened now. Sorry, yeah, you learn the lessons and move on. So here again, I knew that I was harboring ill feelings from last night, but I could not let go of them. Could not let go is a very, if you really want to let go, what is stopping you from letting go? You just let go, that's all. But it is because our ego is unfortunately involved and mashed up in all that has happened. That's why the moment ego is diminished, there's no there's no way in which you can completely annihilate the ego, because Baba did say you cannot annihilate, you transform it. But that's a different chapter altogether. So once we understand that every issue that we are facing, every issue, you look at it that way, if it is looked objectively, it can be solved. But if you look it from the I standpoint, from the standpoint of I said so, I think so, I feel so, I whatever, then that I is there, it's very difficult to solve any issue. So here the I was involved, and therefore he finds it difficult to let go. Naturally, I thought of you. Obviously, we all think about Baba when things do not apparently go right, and we are expected to think even when things do go right. Naturally, I thought of you, but did not expect you. Means it just casually I thought of you. Did not expect you to visit me. However, in your omniscience and unconditional intimacy, so such a beautiful combination of words, unconditional intimacy, you walked straight into my room. And that is Baba's habit. If you, even in Baba's physical ministry, when he would go, he would just like, he owns the entire universe, so he can walk into anybody's room. There are many stories like that. He just goes into the room, goes into the kitchen, opens up some bartan, we call it tapela, some utensils, and pick up a little food and eat like that. So he just walked into the author's room. Instead of looking radiant, you appeared worried and asked me with concern. So he was concerned. Baba is never worried, but he is always concerned. In the same way, we should never worry. We may be concerned about certain things, but there's no need to worry. Concern is a positive way of coming out of a situation. Worry is a negative way of going and into, like a whirlpool. You go into the situation. So here he says that you appeared worried and asked me with concern, what's the matter? What's wrong with you? I feel a bit out of sorts. I'm not in my perfect mood, I admitted sheepishly. Why? What happened? Somewhat awkwardly, I replied, I explained, at a musical performance I attended last night, none of my friends acknowledged me. I felt neglected, hurt, and lonely. A very common emotion that we may go through if at all we are neglected. But one shouldn't, once we know Baba's standpoint. Some silent moments ticked away before you gently spoke. The main cause of this is that you feel yourself to be a person who, because of age, position, or talent, has some special rights over others. We many times we say, we have friends and then we break up. And then when we ask why, oh, he never bothered to call me, why should I? The one who is more matured, it is his responsibility to break the ice, so to speak. Break the ice means to take the first step. To whom more is given, more is expected. If we feel that we have been given sufficient, you can say, knowledge, wisdom from Baba's literature, then it is for us to take the first step of approaching the other and just yeah, to stretch out your hand in friendship or whatever it is. So you think that I am somebody special. Why should I look to you? Because you did not look to me. Why should I ring you up? Because you never rang. Many times in friendship it happens, that he is a friend, she is a friend, she should have done. Arey Baba, you could have done as well. What stops you from doing? And if you are really matured and really blessed by Baba's literature, then I think that person should take the first step. So here he's saying, at a musical performance I attended last night, none of my friends acknowledged me. I felt neglected, hurt, and lonely. Some silent moments ticked away before you gently spoke. The main cause of this is that you feel yourself to be a person who, because of age, position, or talent, has some special rights over others. You want them to pay attention to you. But in fact, you have to be more careful, more watchful when others praise and respect you, because through such appreciation, your ego centered life is strengthened. Adi Kaka used to say, Adi K. Rani, that Baba would sometimes lift some mandali so high, that the person is very much bloated, he starts floating in the cloud, and many a times Baba would leave him there. So he would just be floating in the air. But there are a few fortunate ones whom Baba would take them up and then crush them down to their knees. Their ego would be crushed. Means he would praise, and then in the next moment he would say certain things that would crush your ego. And that is how Baba trained his intimate mandali not to be affected by either praise or by the opposite of that. You can call it by any name. All right. You want them to pay. You have to be very careful, because if constantly you are craving for praise, appreciation, attention, recognition, then it is taking your ego high, high, high. The false ego, obviously. I see. I swallowed with difficulty. It was very difficult for me to swallow that praising will spoil my ego, inflate my ego. You read this? You read it? You? No, I don't think so. Read.
You continued, you like yourself to be treated as someone special, but you should be ready to accept what others take you to be. Think of my love, which is equally for all. It has no preferences. A wildflower in a meadow and a beautiful rose in a garden have the same exposure to the sunlight above and the touch of the ground below. What can I do differently? I asked humbly. Though beyond time, I am the one who is close to you in and through each breath. This is the mystery in the time bound creation that reveals my sense of humor. However, beginning to experience the bliss in my remembrance as you breathe or move about can help free you from the grip of pride and the expectation of special attention from others. When you remember me, you gradually begin to forget the ego centered life. With my remembrance, you will develop appreciation for the various aspects of life without any personal attachment to them. For this, let the practice of offering these attachments to me awaken within you. How does this come about? Offering begins to germinate and blossom by getting off the ring that binds you. This will, in its course, relieve you from expecting special attention from others. As a result, the rising up and dashing down of your spirit for not being recognized will begin to lessen.
All right. I see I swallowed with difficulty. So it's very difficult for us to really contain our ego because we feel that we are very special, we are very unique, we are very different, and we need to be honored, we need to be accepted, we need to be recognized, etc., etc. You continue. You like yourself to be treated as someone special, but you should be ready to accept what others take you to be. You should be ready to accept what others take you to be. Others may not take you the way you think or feel or behave you are. So one should be able to accept. Here I might like to add a little bit. It does not mean when you say that you accept, it does not mean that if somebody tries to put you down, you also imbibe those negative vibrations, so to speak, and feel that you are so low, you are so meek, you are so poor, etc., etc. In other words, this is my take that one must have a very high sense of self-image, of self-love. You see, but at the same time, if somebody does not accept you as that, and if somebody wants to accept you as somebody lower, you simply acknowledge that, okay, in your eyes, I am like this, but do not own that particular feeling what others are trying to thrust upon you or throw towards you. I hope I am making myself very clear. It's a very fine line of having that self-love, self-respect, self-image, whatever you call it, and at the same time being able to accept what others take you to be. And here the accept word doesn't mean that you become that. You have your own your stature. At the same time, you understand that somebody else is not taking you as that. Somebody else is taking you as something else. Well, think of my love, which is equally for all. It has no preferences. A wild flower in a meadow and a beautiful rose in a garden have the same exposure to the sunlight above and the touch of the ground below. It's all the same. And yet the rose would not feel that I'm special, or the wildflower will not feel that, oh, I'm just a wildflower. So Baba's love is on everyone. And in Baba's eyes, everyone is just the same. There is no difference. In the same way, I would interpret in the same way, you should be so anchored and so steady in your remembrance of Baba, in your love for Baba, that nothing outside of you should make you feel low or dejected or out of sorts, as he used that word. What can I do differently? I asked humbly. Many times we have got this notion that doing things differently, you know, will, in other words, not sorry, in doing different things, you will make a change in doing different things. But Baba also always emphasizes to do the same thing differently. This was a very profound message which Baba gave during the East-West gathering in November 1962, My Dear Workers, where he said more or less the same thing, that you don't have to do anything differently. You have to do the same thing, but differently. And what is that differently? Baba says, the more you work for me, the less important you feel in yourself. The moment you put yourself between the work and you, then you allow that work to take you away from me. In short, what it means is do things selflessly. Do not involve your ego in whatever you are doing. Do it as if Baba is doing through you, and do not be affected or attached by results. As simple as that. So what can I do differently? I asked humbly. Though beyond time, Baba is beyond time, we all know. Time is all construct of the mind, and Baba is universal mind, no mind. Though beyond time, I am the one who is close to you in and through each breath. Baba has said that I am closer to you than your very breath. Your breath is supposed to be closest. But Baba says, I am closer to you, even more closer to you than your very breath. This is the mystery in the time-bound creation that reveals my sense of humor. Okay, that means, okay, fine. However, beginning to experience the bliss, this is important, however, beginning to experience the bliss in my remembrance as you breathe or move about can help free you from the grip of pride and the expectation of spatial attention for others, from others. Sorry. In other words, what is important is the doingness with the remembrance of Baba. So anything that we do, when we involve Baba, when we invite Baba into our being and do things, that itself is enough and sufficient. That itself is the reward unto itself. You don't expect any further rewards, you know. That expect is the be all and end all of our job in the whole scheme of things. There's a whole scheme of things. You can call it a divine plan, divine scheme, whatever. Your job, our job, is simply to invite him and to do as best as we can whatever we are expected to do. Period. That's our job. And if we do that, then that is the correct, in my understanding and interpretation, way of being in the world, rather than expecting people to applaud. Even people may applaud or people may even ridicule you, they may criticize you, but that also should not affect us, because it is only in the doingness of things that our job ends there, and not, you don't need to stretch it beyond that. I repeat this. However, beginning to experience the bliss, we are supposed to experience the bliss in the sense, not that eternal bliss or akhanda anand. The bliss would mean a sense of satisfaction, a sense of contentment, a sense of joy, a sense of being a tool in Baba's hands to do whatever he wants us to do. That kind of contentment is there. That is what I would consider a sense of bliss. In my remembrance, as you breathe or move about, can help free you from the grip of pride. Obviously, when it is Baba who is doing through me, why should I be proud about it? And the expectation of spatial attention from others, that will all go away, because I'm just doing my job and that's about all. When you remember me, you gradually begin to forget the ego-centered life. The whole of this game of hide and seek, Baba says, that life is like a game, playing a game of hide and seek, where you have to find your real self. And the real self is found the moment the false self is lost. False self means egocentric self, separative, you can say finite, egocentric self. So the whole game is to lose ourselves and not to find anything. Erach would say, that books and books have been written on how to find God. This is what Erach said Baba told him, that how to find God. But the key, the clue, the secret is not, don't bother about finding God. Try to lose yourself in your love, in your remembrance of God. That is the easier way. That is the secret. That is the clue, the cue, the key, whatever you call it, that is the easier way. That is the faster way, instead of going in search of God. Because when you go in search of God, who is going? The false I is going. And when we are in the search of God and we are on the plains, or we get some riddhi siddhi, we get some experiences, Who is being aggrandized? The false I. And that is exactly going counter to what we are expected to be and to do. So that is why Baba says, instead of going in search of God, you do things in a manner that you lose yourself. Lose yourself means lose your false self. The I-ness, the I am the doer, the kartutva abhiman, karta, giri, you can call it anything, has to be gradually diminished. And so your Baba says, when you remember me, you gradually begin to forget the ego-centered life. With my remembrance, you will develop appreciation for the various aspects of life without any personal attachment to them. In other words, when our ego diminishes, then somebody else's joy becomes my joy. Somebody else's victory becomes my victory. Somebody else's gain or happiness becomes my gain and happiness because my ego has been to a certain extent diminished. So here Baba says, when you remember me in your day-to-day living, then you will experience a different form of joy in your heart because your ego is diminished. With my remembrance, you will develop appreciation. We'll start appreciating the other people's beauty, the other people's gain. Like last time I had told you, Baba's message to Paulie Umrigar, to all the cricketers, that real sportsmanship is not just winning or losing, it's the appreciation of somebody else playing, and that somebody else may be of the opposite team. But still, you appreciate that because that person really played well. It's not whether it was in my team or other. So once we start appreciating the goodness in the others, automatically our ego-centered aspect diminishes. With my remembrance, you will develop appreciation for the various aspects of life without any personal attachment to them. For this, let the practice of offering these attachments to me awaken within you. All the attachments, all the shortcomings, all the weaknesses, we are expected to keep on offering ongoingly, continuously to Baba. Yeah, okay. Yes, Dilshad, go ahead.
Jai Baba Rat.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba.
Cyrus Ji, I have a question in two parts. One is by extrapolation, would this apply to family members also? Number one. And number two, here the topics, the chapter started with, the friends and words like expectations, ego, pride. But when it comes to within your own blood relatives and within your family, and if there is a discrimination or injustice that is found or noticed, which is not necessarily an expectation or out of an importance, but something which is like a basic value like equality or a same kind of treatment. How does one deal with that? And what does Baba have to say? Because there the detachment part and the objectivity part becomes very difficult. Thank you.
Okay, the first question is yes, of course, it applies to everyone in creation, everyone and everything in creation, which includes the family. In fact, family is such a core playground for the Adan Pradan, the give and take of samskaras, that if handled intelligently, by intelligently I mean spiritual intelligence, that itself becomes a springboard for us to move further. So yes, family is a very, very integral part of the whole idea. Why is it that you are in that particular family? Is because of the ties of past karmas. So obviously you have been born into a particular family, in a particular environment, whatever it is, in order to learn and unwind all your past samskaras. So if you are asking family, yes, family.
What is will reflect in the social sector also.
Yeah. See, Swamiya said then that will reflect in the social sector also. So here, yes, family, yes, correct. Now, again, how I would approach this particular situation is, what is it that is feeling hurt? What is it that is feeling hurt? And the straight answer would be my ego. Number one. What is it that Baba wants us to diminish? Again, the answer would be my ego. Number three, is not my family helping me to diminish my ego? The answer would be yes. They are very integral part of that diminishing the ego. So they are doing you a
You have
favor.
chosen them.
They are doing you a favor. They are doing a very good job for you. I would say that way. Only thing is, if you really remember the Baba the way you are expected to remember, and if you really allow him to participate in your life the way he should be allowed to participate in your life, then in my understanding these things would be like a joke. It would be fun, it would be humor rather than hurting you, for the simple reason that now you are above all this chota mota chamakla, as we call it. It doesn't really bother you whether somebody treats you well or not. You gain marks in treating others well, in spite of the fact that they don't treat you well. But our ego will not allow. Why? Why should I do that? Why? That means they will think that I am weak and they are strong and all that. Ego has a way of wriggling the way out. So our responsibility, our answerability is only to one, and that is Baba. And if we really get into that mold, then I am answerable only to Baba. My job is to please Baba. I am responsible only to Baba. Then automatically, all these other chintu pintus in your whole environment will not really affect you the way it is. I don't know whether it affects you, but the way it affects so many people. The moment you are on a platform of my job is to please Baba. See, Baba had said these very beautiful words, although it may be difficult to implement, that to love those whom you cannot love is to love me as I should be loved. So that is how Baba wants us to be. Now, howsoever, from an intellectual standpoint or whatever egocentric standpoint, it may not make sense, but that is what Baba wants. And if we consider Baba to be the highest, then our job is only to please him. Yeah, go ahead, Nilsa. Go ahead.
Cyrus, as I mentioned earlier, it is not the question of, I don't know how to put it, but when it comes to self-respect, or when it comes to something basic, minimalistic, like, for example, it is expected children obey their parents, and parents give the same love to everybody. I'm talking about something which is very basic. And
Yeah.
what did Baba say about unjust?
Yeah.
In terms of injustice at a social level and injustice at your own micro family level.
Agree. See, nobody can take away your self-respect unless you allow it to be taken away. Self-respect is self. I know what I am. Whatever others think is not my botheration or my concern at all. It's that they are free to think whatever they want to think. You see, there are in any given field you will find people who have been appreciated and applauded, and the same people are being ridiculed. So if we start getting affected by people's opinion about us, then that means you have allowed your self-respect to be eroded because of what they are thinking about you. That's one thing. The second thing is, yes, the parents are expected to give equal love to all, as you rightly said. Correct, I agree. But what if they don't? Do you have any formula, any medicine, any injection, any what is it called, vaccine, so that they can change? No. You can only change your viewpoint, your perception. You cannot change the other, because the door of change can only be opened from within. Only from within, if they feel I must change, then they will change. Your job is to continue doing what is best in terms of what Baba expects you to do, not bothered, immaterial of whether somebody responds on, because Baba says that love is such a thing that it reverberates. In other words, when you love somebody genuinely, when you genuinely love somebody, the response from the other will be nothing but love only. It may not come very fast. It may take a lifetime or sometimes many lifetimes. We do not know. But why should you spoil your what should I say, your remarks in the report card of Baba that, okay, Ilshad did like this because somebody did tit for tat, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, and all that rubbish. You see? So it doesn't work that way in the realm of spirituality. That is how I would look at it.
Sarasji, just one small question.
Please go
It is
ahead.
also love that makes it one hurt also. It's because one is in the family and one is the loud one is there. That's why it is hurting. Otherwise, society and others may be not so important for us.
Right.
That's the catch-22 situation.
Right. I know, but then if there is a pure love, it should not hurt. See, that's why it's so fine tuning. You see that it should not hurt in the sense you understand that each one is behaving the way they are behaving because of their binding of the samskaras, past samskaras. You cannot change the behavior of the other. There's a lot of in voice coming in. Is it from H Singh? Yeah, please. Thank you. So this is as much as I can stretch my so-called responses to what you are saying. There is nothing you can do for the other. The only thing that last time also Aban had asked a similar question. This much and no further. You can't do anything beyond that. You accept them as they are, and at the same time continue to be what you are expected to be, a Baba child, in a manner of loving Baba, honoring Baba, inviting Baba, and continue to do what needs to be done. That's about all. Beyond that, you can't do anything. You got it, Didja?
Thank you so
Yes,
very much,
thank you about
Sarasji.
that. Yeah,
Thank you very
yeah.
much.
Welcome, dear. H. Singh ji.
Jai
Hello.
Meher Baba sir.
Jai Baba.
Soumya
Can,
ma'am.
can we have a
Hari
look at?
Singh?
Can we have a look at your face also? Your lovely, handsome face. Where did you go away?
Hari Singh?
Hari Singh?
Hari Singh?
My name is Harmeet actually.
Oh, I'm
Hamid.
sorry.
Please.
Jai
Hello.
Baba.
Jai
Oh,
Baba
Jai
Hamid.
Baba.
Jai Baba Hamid. Bolo.
Sir, so one question. This session will be recorded on Facebook, no?
It is on Facebook. Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Because like I am also like have another meeting in like my college class, so I'm very sorry. I'll have to like just cut this short and go. But sir, really thank you so much, you and ma'am. You're doing a very noble job. I can see it that through your eyes also that you are actually channeling Baba. You, Jimmy Moody sir, and all of you are doing a very noble job. I really enjoy these small webinars.
Yeah. Thank you, Baba. All these are recorded on Avatar Merba Bombay Center Facebook. And hopefully in due course of time, it should be uploaded on YouTube also, but we don't have sufficient volunteers to do that job. But maybe one fine day, Baba willing, whenever he wills it, it will go. But thank you very much.
Jai Baba.
Baba willing. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Thank you,
Jai
sir.
Baba. Meher Daruwala.
Yeah, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba Meher.
Cyrus uncle, I'll tell you, the other day, there was like an argument, not a fight, but there's an argument with somebody. And she's from Bombay, a girl, a Baba lover. And she was trying to tell me that you don't read in something, she was telling me. So I just told her that you can't have to tell me, it's Baba who's telling me. And Baba is going to do what he has to do. I said, we are not having an argument in this. Baba will do his best to let me read or not. So I just kept quiet and
Good.
I just this thing. I didn't say a
Good.
word afterwards. I
Good,
said, Baba will do it.
Good. So there's a saying, wise men discuss, fools argue. But fortunately, you were not a fool. You did not argue.
I didn't argue. I just said
Great,
that I will do my
great,
work. If
great.
you don't want me to read, forget about it.
Great.
I am this thing. Baba is doing his work for me.
Yeah. And if she still doesn't listen, you can box her and tell that
So
Cyrus.
every time when I see this Baba Zoom, this thing, our Angela's thing,
Okay.
every time stares at me as if she wants to hit me. So I feel like saying every time I just go on changing my sides.
I am taking the liberty of saying boxer because I know whom you are talking about. So
No, not her. Not
I'm not-
Yasmin.
okay, I'm not going to. Don't worry.
I
Chalo,
met
okay,
that
thank you.
Yasmin that day.
No,
Not
no,
Yasmin.
no,
Somebody else.
I know that. Okay, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor.
Jai Baba.
See, in life, such things do happen. There are arguments, discussions, even sometimes, debates, fights also. But one must understand that even if we have to fight, we have to fight on issues and not with the person. We may have a very high pitched discussion, talk, fight, whatever it's called, arguments, that's fine, perfectly okay. As long as if you are matured, then the very next moment you should be so cool and talk with the person in a very cool-headed manner, for the simple reason that we do not go against the person. We don't hate the person, but we do not agree on a certain issue, and I think that's perfectly fine. And if one cultivates this kind of behavior, then by and large we get along well with everybody. Unless somebody does not want to get along well and wants to go inside the well, then we can then we can help him by pushing him inside. All right. So now we continue with the.
Listening to you makes me aware of my imperfections, and I feel that to become aware of your love within me, I need to traverse a different dimension. To me, this is like walking on a delicate thread, finer and more fragile than silk, sustained and guided only by your grace. To remember you wholeheartedly, I acknowledge gratefully, is to imbibe trust in you and to inherit the courage to go on. Yes, you nodded. Then you will begin to realize that you are not someone special and that I love all. This will gradually transform your inner life, and you shall be more and more tolerant and unmindful of whether others pay attention to you or not.
Unmindful. Doesn't matter. If somebody doesn't pay attention, what does it matter? Okay.
Desire for attention solicits recognition, and if it is not received, this results in tension. Why not accept these happenings as my wish rather than clinging to the responses you expect from others? This seems very difficult, I responded. True, it is a process where you stumble and fall and rise again. At each step, you have to see with the eyes of the heart and the sight of faith. If you lean on me as completely as you can, the doors to my presence will open up to you. For instance, when you enter any place, whether a drawing room or a dining room, a store or a restaurant, if you treat that space as a part of my mansion, then you will find it filled with my presence. With your focus on me, you yourself will find other ways leading to the unwavering, sublime experience of companionship with me. In my relationship with you, I became aware of so many imperfections I lamented. You smiled. I want your imperfections. Continue to offer them to me without hesitation, for I am perfection personified.
So he's like an ocean, irrespective of how much of trash, imperfections, attachments, weaknesses we dump onto Baba, nothing can pollute his oceanic being.
I had no idea that the so-called social conventions of life, such as whether or not one is greeted, had such a tight grip over my life. But in your matchless way, you made me aware of such bindings and imperfections. I hope your gift of remembrance shall, slowly but surely, wipe clear the slate of my heart. This was a wonderful revelation to me that you use my mistakes and misunderstandings as opportunities to offer the right perspectives towards life. You left, but your profound, heartwarming words were afloat and ringing within me. And like the melodies of the temple bells, they were chanting inspiring tunes in my heart. May these help me to lead a life that shall please you.
So let me read from where, Samir? No. All right. All right. So basically, the whole session is hovering around our craze, our crave for attention and being recognized. And That is what brings us down. That is what hurts us, because we cannot control. We have no control over the behavior of the other. And if the other does not give us what I want, by recognition and all that, then I'm suffering, which is a very stupid and immature way of being. Meher, your hand is up. Do you still want to ask anything? Meher, are you awake? Anyway, all right. So now we come to the reading. Listening to you makes me aware of my imperfections. It's perfectly okay to become more and more aware of our imperfections because that is how we can improve upon them. If we turn a blind eye on our own imperfections, then there's no scope for improvement. And I feel that to become aware of your love within me, I need to traverse a different dimension. That means now I have to think, feel, speak, and behave in a different manner so that I choose not to be hurt by somebody else's behavior towards me. To me, this is like walking on a delicate thread, finer and more fragile than silk, sustained and guided only by your grace. To remember you wholeheartedly, I acknowledge gratefully, is to imbibe trust in you and to inherit the courage to go on. So, what is the meaning of remembering him wholeheartedly? Baba says, the author says, is that I have to imbibe trust in you. I must have that complete, absolute, unconditional trust in you and to inherit the courage to go on. There are many stories on that, but today time is not there. Maybe some other time. You have to keep on going. The courage has to be there to keep on going on with complete trust in Baba, knowing that Baba is with us, within us, helping us, guiding us. Yes, you nodded. Then you will begin to realize that you are not someone special and that I love all. Baba gave that example of a flower and a wildflower and a rose. You're not somebody special. My love is there for all. This will gradually transform your inner life. Again and again, Baba is emphasizing on the inner life. Once the inner life is transformed, everything external appears to have transformed, although they may continue to remain the same. See that beauty? It will continue to remain the same because you can't have any control over that. But it will appear transformed because our inner life is now transformed. And you shall be more and more tolerant. Again, we had done this earlier, that the more spiritual you become, the more tolerant you become, and the less differences you find. So you become more tolerant and mindful of whether others pay attention to you or not. It doesn't matter whether others are paying attention to you or not. It doesn't bother you. It doesn't concern you. That is their concern. Desire for attention solicits recognition. That means you want to be recognized. And if it is not received, this results in tension. This results in tension, irritation, anger, whatever. Grief. Why not accept these happenings as my wish rather than clinging to the responses you expect from others? Why do you expect responses, a certain amount or certain type of responses from others? So whatever you receive from others, simply accept it as my wish. This seems very difficult, I responded. Why is it difficult? Because we do not want to let go our I, our personality. We do not want to let go. We do not want to diminish our egocentric I. True, it is a process where you stumble and fall and rise again. So that's the way of growth. Nobody has ever achieved anything without failures, without mistakes, without stumbling, without falling down. Nobody. Nobody. The only difference between those who are successful and those who are not, I'm not talking from material standpoint, from all the angles, is those who have fallen have again risen up. They are, a million times you fall, a million mistakes you make, but we need to rise up again and again. So that's what says it's a process when you stumble and fall and rise again. At each step, you have to see with the eyes of the heart. That means you have to see everything with your heart. Keep your heart open, keep your responses, your emotions, your feelings open to whatever is happening in your life. To see with the eyes of the heart and the sight of faith. That means one should have faith in Baba. If you lean on me as completely as you can, the doors, if you lean on me as completely as you can, the doors of my presence will open up to you. In other words, the more we lean on Baba, the more the doors of his presence will be opened up for us. For instance, when you enter any place, whether a drawing room or a dining room, a store or a restaurant, if you treat that space as a part of my mansion, then you will find it filled with my presence. That means everywhere you go, you must feel that this is Baba's mansion, this is Baba's space, Baba's whatever you call it, Baba's home, Baba's what is it called, castle, Baba's whatever, palace, whatever. That is, it is belonging to Baba. So when you enter into that space, you will feel Baba's presence because you have taught your mind, cultivated a sense of feeling that Baba is omnipresent, and wherever you go, his presence is felt. With your focus on me, you yourself will find other ways leading to the unwavering sublime experience of companionship with me. That means once we are anchored onto Baba's presence, his companionship, automatically, one way after the other, it will keep opening up for you to traverse that path. It is not something rigid path, but the more you hang on to him, the more he will open himself up to us. In my relationship with you, I become aware of so many imperfections I lamented. So the more we are closer to Baba, who is perfection personified, he opens up the imperfections for us. The more you go closer to Baba, he will open up those imperfections, which is good, which is what he has come to unearth from our subconsciousness and then remove it and then just sweep it out. You smile. I want your imperfections. Continue to offer them to me without hesitation, for I am perfection personified. We have done this earlier also. Seeds germinate in soft soil. I sow the seeds of my love, not in your strength, but in your weaknesses. So irrespective of our imperfections, weakness, attachment, whatever you call it, the aspects of negativity, just keep on offering it to him. I had no idea that the so-called social conventions of life, such as whether or not one is greeted, had such a tight grip over my life. It had such a tight grip, and now Baba has released it. But in your matchless way, you made me aware of such bindings and imperfections. I hope your gift of remembrance shall, slowly but surely, wipe clear the slate of my heart. So all those imperfections will gradually will be wiped out. This was a wonderful revelation to me that you use my mistakes and misunderstandings as opportunities to offer the right perspectives towards life. That is Baba's way of helping us. He is using our own imperfections, our own weaknesses. He is using that as a ground where he can sow the seeds of his love so that it can sprout into a beautiful, lovely tree. You left, but your profound, heartwarming words were afloat and ringing within me. And like the melodies of the temple bells, they were chanting inspiring tunes in my heart. Although you had left, I can feel that the whatever you said, uttered, it is hovering in my heart and it is chanting like temple bells. May these help me to lead a life that shall please you. So once having enthroned Baba in our heart, so to speak, once having made him as our constant companion, he will guide us as to what way we are supposed to go. And thereby, if we follow the dictates of that heart, we will be able to go closer and closer to him, and we will be able to please him. So here ends this chapter. Fortunately, we are exactly on the dot by Baba's grace, 6:30. Any questions, anything to share, anything to ask? Nothing. Perrin has something to say? Yes,
Yeah,
Perrin?
yeah, just to say, what a beautiful, beautiful chapter
Yes.
for the beginning of a year.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
We all need it,
yeah.
one way or the
Thank
other.
you.
And all
Thank you.
questions
Thank
of
you, Baba.
Dilshad and Mayor, we all need it. We are all in the same boat.
Absolutely.
And Baba is
Absolutely.
helping us to move
Yes.
forward little by little.
Absolutely.
So thank you, Baba.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Baba.
guys.
Thank you,
Baba.
Baba.
Jai
So
Baba.
once again, wishing all a very, very Baba-ful 2022. May he visit our hearts and purify us and clean us of all the shortcomings and negativity, and may we progress in our love and remembrance of beloved Baba. Avatar Meher
Baba, Baba,
Jai.
Jai.
Jai Baba.
Jai Meher Baba, Jai Meher Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai
Thank
Baba.
you.